based on um, her paycheck. So every month it was paid of July's rent, right?
Correct.
And at that point, KK was reaching out to you for the rent payment.
Mm-hmm.
By the very 1st of August, she had already applied with the courts to go on ahead with an eviction. So I'll let you kind of take over from here and share, what started with your accident, how that affected your ability to pay rent, and how you've always paid rent, what the agreement was when you moved in. And I'm bringing awareness to this because KK brought awareness to it. KK drugged this woman on multiple social media platforms. This mother right here. Okay, and I'll let you.
Yes. Yes, thank you. So, yes, look, we had an agreement. So I moved in August of last year. Everything was going smooth. We had a little rental
Yes,
thing.
I'm
She
sorry.
emailed
I
it to
didn't
me.
mean to interrupt you. Yes, this
Mhm.
is KK, who is the main moderator for SP. This isn't doxing, honey. This ain't doxing at all. Go ahead, hon.
Yes, so this lady, we'll call her this lady who I was renting a home from, we had an agreement that said I would pay her $700 a month as needed, which my checks were weekly, every other week. She said I have videos, screenshots of everything saying, hey, it's okay, you can just pay it as you get it. Um, so I mean, I paid my rent. Most of the time, I paid most of it all at once. There was some times where it was paid in chunks, which I have a message from her. Hey, that's fine, no big deal, as long as it gets paid. It always got paid. Um, I don't know what doxing is, y'all, so bear with me. I'm not trying to dox anybody. What's that mean?
It just means giving out personal, like someone's address, phone number with intent to cause harm. That's what that would mean.
No, okay, no, I don't want to cause harm. I just want to bring awareness to the fact that this person is just not, yeah, not a good person. And I'm not the best person. Look, I'm not sitting here saying, like, oh, I do owe her money, period, point blank. I'm a tenant. I'm responsible to pay those things. I got
Give me
into a
one
car
second,
wreck
guys, and I'll
in
explain
July
what's
with my
going on,
kids.
okay?
She was posting saying something about how I had bought a car and then didn't pay her rent. No, I bought a car at the end of June, the middle of June actually, and paid her the rent. I owed her for some of July, but I got into the car wreck and was not able to work. And per our agreement, I was going to pay the rest of it, in July, like I always do. Well, I wasn't able to because I did not get to go back to work until August 26th. I went back to work on August 26th against my doctor's orders because I was getting evicted. I did not have a choice. As Chris was saying, she's seen my injuries and they were extensive. I shouldn't be working right now. Like I'm barely healed up, but I'm having to. I took on two other jobs. I'm working three jobs now just to support my family. Um, sorry. The people, she outed me on Facebook. She posted me in public places in my community where my children are football players and cheerleaders. These moms now see that, which I'm not again. Like, you know what? It is what it is. Like, that doesn't bother me. But um, the fact that it made it hard for me my work people are on there. They've asked me questions about it. It made it hard for me to get into a rental now because that is public knowledge. Like it's all over my Facebook. I've tried to delete it. It's on hers. She posted it in community groups. Like the landlord that I'm in now was in that community group, and they said since I'm a liability, they upped the rent that I have much more because I'm such a liability because of that, because of all of the issues with it. So it's been a lot, but I got into the wreck. I was off work. My phone bill got shut off. My internet got shut off. My credit cards are like everything is due, and I'm got you know, my son, he is disabled, he gets a disability check, and I had to choose between, do I pay my car payment for me to be able to get around and go take them to do this, or go donate plasma, or pawn something, or whatever I have to do, or do I pay her this $300, which obviously, it's kind of silly of me to not pay rent. But then I just was like, oh my gosh, what if I don't have a way to work, if I have, like, when I go back to work, like, my thinking, was like, okay, we have this agreement that as long as I pay it, blah blah blah, that we're good. Well, she didn't even give me time. I did not have time. Like, that's just it. It baffles me that somebody, if she wanted to evict me and she didn't want me to live in that house, then all she had to do was personally tell me. If she couldn't get a hold of me, go to the courts. You don't have to publicly out me. You don't have to do all the things that you do, like, publicly. I don't understand that. But then now that I've seen her, TikTokers, whatever, like, all those things, like, I kind of see, like, she just, like, I don't know if that's what she does, as, like, if she does it for fun, if she's just, I don't know. I don't know why, but I just know that I'm not a bad person. I know I owe her money. I've reached out to her. I told her I will pay her. She posted a post about me recently about how she needs a biohazard to clean the house. Look, and Chris can even verify, the day before, like, they were to go in and look at the house, I messaged her and I told her everything that was wrong with the house. I said, I left you the flooring as per our agreement. Look, um, I'm supposed to do the floors, right? In our agreement for the low rent, it was fix the floors, paint the walls, and like two other small things, which, I didn't get around to doing all of it. I got the flooring for it. It just didn't get put in, so I left it for her, and I told her, hey, I'm gonna leave this for you. So and she's like, well, I'm not counting that as any of the money. I said, that's fine, but it's, she's basically saying she's still gonna sue me for all the back rent plus all the repairs I didn't do in the lease, which is just being super petty because, like, anyways, it just, but she said, all those things I didn't do. I texted her that, like, the night before, and I told her my son, he's autistic. He kicked a hole in the back wall in a behavior one day. You know what I mean? And so, um, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm supposed to read the chat or not. I've never been on a live. You guys just bear with me.
Yeah, if it makes you feel distracted by reading the chat, you can just share
Okay.
your story and then you can answer
Okay.
questions because I'm sure people
Okay.
will have questions. But just take a deep
Okay.
breath. So basically, you were having a temporary financial hardship,
Yes.
which KK has also had been in that position
So
before, and to the point where she actually
basically,
reached out to TikTok for
so
help
because I
to
posted
post a
in
video.
2021
She's
and
been
those
reading
videos
into
are still up,
everything, and
go look at
someone
them.
helped her. Someone paid her car payment.
Go look at them. They're
I
still
don't know
up.
if it was a media
I
webpage
was
or
having
someone
some
took care of that
issues,
for her.
and I
I
asked
just
for help. This was
personally feel that this
before
woman right
I
here was
became a part
blasted
of the
all over
awareness
social
community.
media
I
as
believe that's the
being
only
her
time I asked for
accident
help. I mean, go back and look at my videos. They're all
temporarily
still
could
there.
not work,
So
had a
she's
temporary financial
screenshotting that,
setback,
trying to say
but then
something.
blasted
I
all
don't know,
over the internet.
but
But she wanted to
I'm
evict
streaming this
one of
live because I don't hide
why
anything.
blast her all over the internet in her
Correct.
community where her and her small children live? Well, they're like 10 and 11, 10 and 11, am I right?
Yeah.
10 and 12.
Yeah. 10 and 11, almost 12 next week.
Yeah, but now all the parents that you associate with your children, their friends, parents, they all know. Everybody knows it's a small community. It
Yes.
didn't have to be done that way. I don't understand why it was done this
And
way.
then the fact that she posted and the thing, and was like asking people to come take photos of my house because she thought I was going to destroy it. Like, only somebody in a mind who does those things would think that someone was going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I was
I
in
didn't
that
do
in
that.
my mind. She
Um,
posted in
and I
the,
have the screenshots because
I'm
I
not going to say the
screenshot
name of
everything.
the addition,
I posted
but
in the
the
community
addition
chat
website,
of the
or
neighbors that already
Facebook
knew
page,
me,
and said,
and I asked if
hey,
someone would go
you live
take a
in this
photo of the
community. I
front of
need
the
you
house
to
from the
DM me
road.
right now
Nothing
for the
illegal,
address to
nothing
go
out of the
take
way.
photos
People who
of my
already knew
home,
me and
blah, blah,
already knew where
blah,
I lived
because I think these
didn't even
people
need
are
my
going to destroy
address,
it. I
just to
never
clarify.
once said any kind of things like I was going to do that. I never said any of those things. Um,
You basically,
and it
you
just,
were renting this property, you were living in this property, and you had strangers coming to your home taking photos
yes.
of where you live.
My daughter came in and said, Mom, there's somebody at the road taking a picture of us. And I flipped. Like, I was like, Are you kidding me? And this is when this was because my kids were playing outside because we didn't have internet or phone service. This is before I knew any of this was happening. Like, I didn't know any of this was happening. My sister had to drive from her house to come and say, Hey, Lorena, this lady is blasting you on social media. And I was like, That makes sense. Once I got to see the post that everyone had me finally from when I used her, but like it was crazy. I can't believe that somebody would stoop to it. I told her what was going on. I communicated. The only time I didn't is whenever I found out because when I got in the car wreck, I found out by an X-ray of my shoulder because I tore my rotator cuff as well that
Mhm.
I had a cancerous tumor or a tumor, and then I got to see an oncologist. I had a cancerous bone tumor in my arm, so all this hit me at once. My brand new car wrecked in the shop. Found out the thing on my arm. I'm off work. I'm getting evicted. Like I just had a temporary setback in my life, and this happened after. You know what I mean? It just yeah. So
Well, how did this affect you with searching for a new rental?
yeah, it affected me tremendously because I was using Marketplace to look for everything. And the person that like I said, the person that I rent from now, they were in the group that was, that she posted, one of the groups that she posted on saying, that I owed her money and blah, 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 and all these things about me. And so whenever I reached out to them, they told me that they would rent to me, but I was a liability. So my rent is basically I have to pay a bigger deposit and my rent has to be more, which I think is BS, honestly. I don't know if that was just like them like saying, hey, like, like, ooh, let's get, whatever. It's slumlord stuff because I don't have the option right now. I have a fresh eviction on my record. I didn't have the option or the time to find another place, so I had to take what I had. And so that's what I had to do. I had to beg and borrow and use every bit of money that I had, what little bit it was coming in, because my job, I work a decent job when I'm working, and I got everything. I had like, when I went back to work, I had like 10 days worth of work. And I used every single penny to put down on deposit. I begged all my friends and family, which, I'm not a person to do that, but I had to get a deposit to go in this house. I still owe a deposit. They were nice enough to let me pay it out. So,
Mhm.
I just, yeah, that's where that went.
Yeah,
And I'm
and
also in a city that I don't even know. I had to move. I had to move where my children go to school at, and where my community where I grew up at, where I wanted my children to stay, and I had to move out.
your
So
children will
there's
no longer, they won't
that.
be attending the school that they normally would attend.
Not yet because I haven't told anybody that we moved because my son's autistic. I'm not trying to bring kids into this because I know that's not right,
So you can talk
but he
about
is, and
both.
he's on an IEP.
You
Yeah, my child is autistic, and
you have
he
a
has friends. And my daughter, she's about to be 12 next week, or
mhm.
this Thursday actually. Oops, I probably should have said that. But anyways, she's about to be 12, and I'm horrified to move them from their friends. She cried to me and was like, Mom, why did you do this to us? Like, I'm getting, like, she's like, you should have paid the rent over the car payment, and like my own child telling me that made me feel awful. But I made a choice, and I made it probably not the rest. Maybe I could have paid her. Maybe she would have let me stay that month. I don't know. But she was at the courts trying to evict me before August was even up, and I only owed her $300 from July and then August. That was it. And she's sitting there saying all these things about how she's money, and she never, like, I have messages saying, oh, don't worry about it. Like, I just pay it out of my pocket until you give it to me. And she's making it say it's not a big deal. Like, like, I don't know. I just, ugh.
Had a
I'm
tremendous,
not saying I'm right. Yeah,
a
I have
tremendous
receipts.
effect on you and your
I have
child.
receipts. I have messages. I have everything.
And she does. I've seen what she has. She sent me a lot of
And
screenshots and even a copy of the lease agreement that was simply just a self typed up agreement done by through Facebook. So
mhm.
basically,
Yeah,
bottom
she
line.
just emailed me something.
Well, I mean, she's the one who brought attention to this first. So, because as I said, I'm just very inquisitive. I know how that side over there operates and know that there's always two sides to every story. So I wanted to get down to the bottom of it. And so that's why we're here.
And like I said, I've never once denied that I owe her money, and I've never once denied that what I've done was wrong as my on my part as a tenant. Never once. I've never been disrespectful. I've never been rude to her. I've been honest. I've been upfront, and I've tried to do right by
So I
her.
was saying
I
I
even
paid. So
offered
whenever she'd be
to
late
pay for
on
some of the cleanup
rent,
of the house
so
because
I
I
didn't
know
get my
I
credit
left it in a
messed with,
little bit
I
of a
would just
rough
pay it out
condition
of
when
my
I had to
pocket
leave
and hope that she
because
would
we
pay
were
me
in such a
back.
hurry to get out. You know, I had
Um,
48-hour notice on my door,
well,
and I'm
pay her
trying to
rent
get everything
basically.
out. And
And
I
I would
even
put
offered to pay
myself
for that as
behind
well to
and I would
tack in
do
on
without
to
so I
what I
could
owe
make
her.
sure the house got
I even
paid
told her, let's work out
because,
an agreement. Let me make a
it's
payment
very
plan.
important.
I'm
I
back at
don't want my
work.
home to go
Like
into a
I was
foreclosure
trying
just in
to,
case I need to go
be
back to
cordial and
Oklahoma.
work things
So
out with
that's what
her
she was saying. I
because
just
I
paid it out of my
know
pocket
that
and
I
waited
owe
for
her
her to
money,
pay
and that is
the
on my
mortgage. And
my
school had
part as
just
a tenant
started.
to pay
I'm still
her.
trying to get my vehicle
But
fixed. I'm trying to save
yeah,
money
like
to get my
I
mom down
want to
here
do
because I
my
haven't
part
seen her
as
in over
well.
a year.
I'm not
So,
saying that she's
I
such a
took a
bad person
hit.
and
I took a
I'm
hit.
victim. But I was at a temporary setback and I was a victim for a little while. I'm back on my feet and I'm trying to make that right. But what she did was wrong, and that's why I'm here, is to say what she did was wrong. She did not have to do it that way. Like, and that's where, I want the awareness spread and the truth spread. Like, for someone to do that to somebody, that is just wrong.
Well, I look at it like this. She once needed help. She reached out to strangers on the internet for help. Did you reach out to anyone on the internet for help other than friends or family?
No,
Did you make a
no,
TikTok
just
to say,
no,
I need help? I'm getting at
no,
my home. You didn't reach out to strangers on the
no.
internet? Okay.
No, no, I didn't make any Facebook posting after after it was already publicly outed by her on my
Mhm.
book. Then I made a post and it was very nice. I actually sent it to you, Chris, if you can put anything of the stuff that I sent you out there. So no, I didn't. I dealt with it like I was
Well,
supposed to.
I think that, I think anyone who was reasonable would have understood this was a temporary setback for you due to an auto accident. You work, you have two children, one of your children is disabled, and here you are terrified because you're fixing to be homeless on the street with your kids.
On the street because my mom does not live here. My dad, oh, and my dad lives with me as well. Just not to add to the sappy sad factor. My dad's dying. I take care of my dying father. He has COPD emphysema as well as Parkinson's disease.
Well,
So,
I can see
there's that
that,
in the mix of it all.
but I think it's only fair that you
I
get
don't
to
know if
tell
I,
your side of the story. That's why you're here to tell your side of the story, because there's
I don't have a lot of followers or know how to do all those things, and I'm glad that I'm able to do that. So thank you.
yes, you're very very welcome. Um, Now, KK's awfully busy on the internet all the time. Um,
Yeah.
she works hard for SP, doing all the digging. Will dig things up from somebody from 30 years ago that doesn't even apply to today, but it's content. You know what I mean? Because drama sells. Well, I'm telling y'all, KK needs to pay more attention to her children. She has a daughter who is crying for help. I'm going to read something. This is something her daughter posted on TikTok. When a girl says she has mommy issues because her mom didn't pack her favorite energy drink, but she's never been through her mom dating many guys to just leave her with a child. She also doesn't go through being ignored almost all day, every day, because her mom is always on her phone. I saw that TikTok, KK. You need to be mindful of what your daughter is posting. If I had a daughter that age, she would not be posting that. She would not be wearing what she's wearing while she's posting. Do you have any idea what your daughter's doing? You all want to save all the children of the world, but you have no idea what your kid's doing on social media? Do you know that she has men messaging her? Do you know?
I've heard that as well.
Do you know who her friends are? Oh, and it's all there. It's all there. Go find it. I'm not going to tell you what her daughter's page is, but what I do hope is that she begins to pay more attention and be mindful to her children, spend less time worried about what strangers are doing on the internet and look in her own backyard. Calling people out like this lady right here, which was completely unnecessary to post all of that on the social media just to humiliate you. You know, according to my calculations, that mortgage shouldn't be very much. A couple $100 a month.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have taken out a second mortgage. It was almost paid off 1 year ago. You took out another mortgage. You live rent free, completely rent free in California.
Someone needs to speak up for her kids because they're crying out and she's not doing anything about it. She's too worried about chasing all the crap on here versus, finding why her daughter's sad.
Yeah, I agree. And she brought attention to the situation. I did some research, and I'm just telling KK she needs to pay attention to what's going on in her home because that really frightens me. It frightens me when, a child has strangers messaging her on the internet and posting things about how she feels about her mom always being on her phone all day, every day. She's crying for your attention.
This is what I call helping the children by bringing awareness to them not, needing that attention from their caregivers. What you're doing is just by saying, hey, somebody let her know that her child needs attention from her. That's it.
Oh,
That's what I feel like.
She just had a perfect point. She said, but she's talking to their KK side. She said, but y'all support the ones talking about her children. So Nikki's telling the other side, which is KK's group, y'all talk about my kids, but it's not okay if somebody mentions something about yours. See, it's always that double-edged sword. It's okay when they do it, but it's not okay when somebody else does it.
Right. And you're not doing it to be malicious, though. That's the difference.
Absolutely not.
That's the big difference. You're doing it all not out of being malicious at all.
That's right. Absolutely am not.
That child needs help. She needs attention. That's all. She's crying out for attention from her mother, and you're bringing awareness to that fact. You're not being malicious.
If she can't pay attention to what's going on if one can't pay attention to what's going on in their own home, when there's a kid that's obviously crying out for help, but you're too busy, KK, worried about what strangers are doing on the internet. You need to be worried about what strangers are seeing when they message your daughter.
Yes, agreed.
Yes. Spends countless hours streaming other people. She's got a kid that's crying out for help. It doesn't make sense to me. It's like an obsession. But this is what KK posted just recently. I believe it was today. Yeah, this off. I'm gonna read it. So this is what she's saying about our guest here. I am devastated at the condition of my rental property. My first home is going to need a lot of cleanup. Large trash clean out, biohazard clean out. Come on, KK. Biohazard clean out. That's a little bit exaggerated. That's what they do. I'm not surprised because they exaggerate. Huge holes in the walls patched up. And I think you've explained that your son has autism. And during one of his episodes, he did that. And that's something you would have fixed had you stayed there.
Yes, it was a very recent incident that happened, and I did mention it to her as well before she went into the house. I told her everything about the trash. I told her about the big pile of the giveaway stuff that we had at the front door. Yes, I mentioned all of that.
She says the backyard is just filled with trash and garbage. It's just absolutely awful. She wasn't perfect, meaning her home. It wasn't perfect when I left, but it literally just ripped my heart out when I seen the walkthrough a few days ago. Besides being out of 3 months rent, how many months of rent was she out? She's saying 3 months.
One and like a quarter.
So basically August, all of August, and you owed $300 for July. That was it, right?
Yes.
Because I will
So
now
one
have
and a half, I guess.
I will now have to put thousands of dollars into repairs. I want fighting to make sure it doesn't go into foreclosure. Well, honey, if $300 is going to put your house into foreclosure, you got some problems because your mortgage ain't much. You live rent free. You're giving money to strangers on the internet. How many hundreds of dollars have you sent in gifts on TikTok? A lot. You want me to show those? But you can't pay your mortgage.
Banks won't foreclosure on 30 days. That's right.
What is your priority? So she will now have to put thousands of dollars into repairs, all while fighting to make sure that it does not go into foreclosure. Your house was almost paid off and you took out a second mortgage. Oh my goodness. Okay. Um, so she needs to make sure it doesn't go into foreclosure while she is over 1,000 miles away. But I can and I will do this and not let this person ruin this. Again, it's her fault. It's your fault that she's going into foreclosure because you were $300 late on July's rent and you didn't pay this month because you needed to get you and your children into another home. Your other option
Yes.
was to be on the street with your kids.
Right. Either pay her and then be on the street or find another home and find a way to pay her after that, which obviously I took the latter because I have a life too and children and, you know,
This is not something that my mom and family back home should have to be dealing with, considering all the other things they're dealing with. Well, KK, why did you do this to your family? Why did you make them? I mean, the lady was.
I spoke with her mom.
Oh, tell us about that.
Okay, yes. At the eviction hearing, her mother was very kind to me. She said it wasn't a big deal. She was sorry about her daughter's actions and that her mom was not happy about her daughter and the way she was acting. She was like, I will not pick up the 48-hour lease until a week. She was kind enough to give us extra days before she picked up the executed lease for the 48-hour eviction. So her mom was not mad about any of it.
At least her mother's compassionate.
Yeah.
She goes on to say, don't let people take advantage of your kindness. Yeah, KK, that was real kind of you. So kind. That was very kind of you, KK. Just pat yourself on the back. This mama right here with her 2 kids was almost homeless on the street. Go ahead, pat yourself on the back. Hurrah, hurrah.
And then the fact that she posted what really got me was praying court tomorrow, praying for 48 hours. When the eviction court was happening, she was praying that we would be evicted that day and out in 48 hours. She was praying that my children and my family would not have a home. Who prays for someone to not have a home? That is heartless.
I agree. Betsy, this woman was paying her bills up until she had an auto accident temporarily out of work so that she could heal. Her knees were literally cut from
She was
side to
late
side
every
when
single
she
month,
met.
except for the
Was
first
that
month.
staples that were in your knees?
No, it was stitches because staples wouldn't. They wouldn't have held. It was stitches, but the stitches barely held. It was rough.
Do you know how many you had in each knee?
37 on one and 20 something on the other.
That's a lot. What other injuries did you sustain during your accident?
I had a torn rotator cuff, and my neck, my cervical spine was completely pushed up. Like, you know how like your spine's supposed to have a curvature? Mine was completely straight. I had no curvature whatsoever after the accident. So, I mean, it was pretty rough. And I wasn't even supposed to go back to work yet. But once I found out that she was evicting us, like, I had no choice. I had to. I literally had to beg my doctor. I said, look, I have to.
So not only did you go back to your job, your full-time job, against the doctor's wishes because you had no other choice. You had to pay
Yes.
your bills because you're
Yeah.
responsible and you pay your bills. So you
Yes.
went back to your job, you got a second job, and then not only did you get a second job, you also got a third job. And mind
Yes.
you,
I work
you have two children.
from 3 a.m. at one job, and then I work evenings at the other, and my regular job is daytime job. Yeah.
I am so sorry that you went through this. I really, truly am. I truly,
You
truly
know,
am.
I mean, I'm a believer in faith, so I think that this was put in, for everything for a reason, and that it's made me stronger. I mean, it sucks, it really does, but in the same breath, like, it's the next day, it's a new opportunity, and I'm okay. My kids are okay, I'm okay. And like I said, I believe, I have my faith, and I pray for her, and I hope that she can have peace and forgiveness and love and all of those things, and one day see like what she's doing to not just me but to all these other people is wrong. It's wrong, and it's not what you're supposed to do in life, and I really do, I hope that she sees that.
Well, I hope that she can remember, think back to when she also needed help. I commend you for
Right.
not going to the internet and asking. We see that all the time on here, and we never know who to believe and who not to believe.
Right.
Um, but yeah, KK, you needed help one time. You had children. You didn't know what to do. You reached out to strangers on the internet, even though you told
Yes, I asked for
everybody,
help in
and you definitely put it on
2021
video, telling everyone
once.
not to get money on this app or the internet. But you did. You seem to forget that you once were in that situation. If I had a tenant that were in your situation, what I would have done is I would have been reasonable. I would have said, okay, I know you can't pay all of this month's rent. You're out of work temporarily because, I mean, shit, your knees were cut side to side, one side
Yeah.
to the next. How could you even stand? You're going to temporarily be out of work. Pay me what you can,
Right.
because I mean, you said that you were going to help with you have your son gets a disability. He
Yeah,
has
I could have paid something. Yeah, I definitely could have paid her something.
right.
But she requested the whole. She wouldn't take any partial, and I get her like doing that because like I think if you like accept partial payments, then the person can say. But regardless, like in the situation being what it was, why could you have not shown me compassion when people have shown you compassion in your time of need?
Right. It's just like some of these the people on the internet that they call out. They claim that they love this person. We really love you. We're worried about you. We just want you to do better. But then they make these videos just terrorizing and laughing and making fun of and humiliating people. So how can you be both? How can you be
Exactly.
both? How can you be empathetic, relate to someone, care about them, want them to do better, but yet do the opposite by doing things that would cause people
Right.
to fall back into old habits or things that just aren't conducive to someone getting their life together and doing good. You know,
Right.
when the toughest flower asked you a question. She's a follower of mine. So if you
Okay.
want to answer any questions anyone might have, and if we do have some comments that are derogatory, you can just ignore them.
Okay.
I wasn't.
Was she stalking me? I want to say, like, she's obviously in a different state than I am, but as far as harassing me, she posted, for anyone who wasn't in here when I mentioned this earlier, um, she posted on where we lived, like I guess like almost like community watch page or like the welcome page to an edition on Facebook. She posted in there and said, hey, if anyone lives in this edition, I need someone to go and take photos of my house. DM me, I'll give you the address, because I want to take photos because they're going to destroy my house. So she posted that, and then someone ended up taking a photo, and my daughter come running and saying, Mommy, there's somebody outside taking pictures. So I consider that stalking. That's harassment and stalking. Um, let's see what
You
else.
had that there would be someone there taking photos of the house of her
Yeah.
house that you were renting.
Yes.
So at
Yes.
that
I
time,
was
that
the
was
tenant.
your home because you were residing in that home. You were a tenant. Was there anything in the lease that stated that she could enter the house at any time
No.
without your
No.
permission or without notice?
Yeah, she was, yeah, she, and to the fact that she said because she didn't post the address publicly that it wasn't illegal, but you're still saying for the people of that community to message you, and you'll send them my address where I reside until that court order says that 48 hours are up and you're allowed in it, where my children live, where my children play, where my things are, where my home is. Like, no, I mean, no, that's not okay. Um, and yes, with my child right there, MJ, like that's what, ooh, because that's almost, if my child is in one of those photos, which we'll never see them because God forbid she put herself in a position like that. But if my child, let's just say my
That
child is in one of those photos, you know what I mean? Um, sorry, when my, yeah, she, like, that's illegal. She's, whatever that is, I know that's got to be illegal. I don't know the technical, law name for that, but she's taking photos of while my child is playing in the yard of my home that I reside in, to see if it's damaged. For what reason? You can find all of those things out whenever the eviction is done, when you come and enter the home, just like you did. And not only that, I told you of what was
She's showing
damaged.
my
I
minor
told you what
daughter.
the house looked like. I told you ahead of time so you could be prepared. I even told you to have your mom bring her truck and trailer because there was trash in the house that I didn't have the means to get out. There was items in the house that I couldn't fit in my cars and leave. You know what I mean? Like I told her all of those things.
So you
All of those
basically
things.
you did the best that you could do with the
Yes.
minimum amount of time you were given.
Yes. And I was kind enough to say, hey, just so you know, these are the things that are wrong in the house. There is trash. The house is a mess. The weeds in the back are tall. Like, I told her everything. She didn't need to have somebody come take photos. Like, I was just showing her home. Like, if I had of, let's just say hypothetically, she would have found that out anyway. So why send someone to invade? Like, more than anything, my invasion, the felt feeling of invasion of privacy that I felt, the horror, like, it horrified me to know that. You know what I mean? Like, to know that people were taking photos of my life like that. I can't take that feeling back. Um,
The post
so there's that.
her daughter's post. She's crying for help. She's crying for attention. And KK's nowhere to be found. She's in Canada.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about earlier about, we're not exploiting her children, or like you're raising awareness, like, hey, hopefully somebody sees this and she sees this and she takes action to fix it, before something, God forbid, somebody slides in this girl's messages, or she, goes out and seeks that attention somewhere else, from someone who's not, like, I'm just saying, like, what if that happens?
Are others already sliding into those messages, and it ain't good. And my first thought was, where is the mother?
Thank you. I have apps on my kids' phones to see everything they do, period, point blank. My kid gets a text, boom, dings on my phone, which she gets a lot, so it's really annoying, but at least I know. Good Lord, good, thank you, the toughest flower.
KK's payment is equivalent to less than what she's given to people on TikTok. Like, she wants to give her money to strangers, but she doesn't want to prioritize her mortgage.
Right.
But yet,
Like, in
this girl
personally,
going into
go ahead.
foreclosure. This isn't the first time she's been concerned about foreclosure. I mean, her first video that I showed
Right.
states it. That's when she went onto the internet to ask for help. There was one time when she needed help. People were kind enough to help her. My point is, this was a temporary hardship for this girl, and she wasn't reasonable.
And look, and I'm never denying that I owe her money. I've never said, hey, I don't owe you this, blah, 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 all of this stuff. Like, I've never denied it. I have said, I owe you the money. I want to make a payment plan. I want to get back on my feet and pay it. I don't want to leave on a dirty note, on a bad note. But she's making it that way. Like, she's already told me that she's going to sue me. Like, if you, like, take me to court over this, like, that is just beyond petty. Whenever we went for the eviction court, I told the judge, about what, she was posting about me. I told the judge, like, hey, look, I'm not, like, I was in tears. Okay, I cried most of the time because there was nothing else I could do. I said, yes, Your Honor, I owe this money. And she said, is there any reason legally why I can say that, this can't happen? I said, no, Your Honor, legally I owe her this money. And she said, well, then I have to give her the verdict. I said, but I do want it to be known that she is outing me publicly. She's posting publicly. She's posting asking people to come take photos of my home. Like, the judge told her mom, she said, you need to tell your daughter that that is not okay. And if she doesn't want to get sued, she needs to stop.
No,
And so I texted KK. I told her that. I said, look, and she said, I can post what I want. Like, there's a post on her page that was like, when I said that we're something about defamation of character, she, like, I told her, I said, look, I can sue you for defamation of character. And she, like, posted it on there and was like, I can post what I want when I want, which you can. I just said, please don't post me. Like, don't post me. Like, I want to work this out with you. I'm trying to be cordial. I haven't done anything for you to not, you know what I mean? But yeah, so there was that as well.
There was the only
That post wasn't
purpose
even
of
about her
doing
guilty
that
much.
was humiliate. That's the only reason. The only reason.
Right.
There's
Right.
no reason why anyone would post something like that.
Correct.
Her kids covered up BS.
Yeah.
But she needs to pay attention to what the kids doing. I can tell you that. She can't be saving the world's children when she can't save her own children.
Mm-hmm. That's
Thank
correct.
you for sharing the live. I appreciate that. And if
Does
you
anybody want to know any other questions?
let your friends know. We're discussing this because this is important. This speaks volumes for someone's character, and the shit that they do over there. It's just, it really makes me nauseous. It does.
Oh, one of my friends are in here. Hi, Mary. I love you.
Hi, Mary. Welcome in.
That's like my second mama, so I love her. I'm glad she's here.
Yeah, I mean, I brought awareness to this because KK brought this out first. I like to, I don't, and this is what I advise for everyone. Never take someone's word for face value. Never.
Right.
People can say whatever they want on the internet. If it's something that interests you and you'd like to know more, then find it out. Find it out. She has three. She has three. This lady right here has two. She's protecting her children. She's taking care of her children. As a matter of fact, she's now unfortunately forced to work three jobs
Actually,
Yes.
she has more than
to
that.
take care of
She
her
lost a
children
few to the state.
because the
Please.
rental you have the
But
eviction
I'm
now,
not going to
so
talk
that
about
made
that.
it difficult for you to get into another rental. So you had to share that information. So the rental that you are currently that you just rented was originally $1,000 per month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to pay an extra rental fee every month because you're considered high risk.
Yes. Correct.
More because you have an
Deposit.
because you now have an eviction, you now are considered high risk and you have to pay a higher rent. How much more do you have to pay?
I pay $1,600 for this house that we're in now. $500 a month more, which, like I said, these people could be just using what happened and being slumlords as, a way to get more money as well too. But I mean, I am a high risk tenant now according to them because of that, and nobody else would give me an opportunity. So I didn't have an option to pick a house. I didn't have time, nor did I have an option. I had to take this was the only, and I mark my words, the only house that I could get. And for 2 weeks straight, I can show you screenshots. I called, I messaged, I asked, I sat on my phone for 2 weeks trying to find a place to live, and this is the only place that would rent to me.
Well, so the rent would have been
Oh, but I bet
$1,000 a
she won't
month
mention that
for
I let
being
her
here,
know
the 1,500 because you're
that
considered
before I
high risk.
evicted her, I told her that I wasn't
Now you
going to
also
renew
had
the
to pay
lease,
first and last
by the
month's
way.
rent as your deposit. Is that correct?
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. All because of the person who I lease from now was in the group, one of the groups that this woman outed, like bashed me on publicly, saying all these things, saying, oh, she, like, I have the messages, and it was like saying I owe her rent, which I get that. I get,
You're
you
not
can
denying.
publicly
You've
post.
never denied that. You're not
Right,
denying that you
correct.
owed her $300 for the month of July. That's all that you owed, and then early August she files an eviction on you.
Yes, before even, and normally before those times, we were able to um, pay it out kind of like as a, like sometimes I would pay, like I would only have $500 on the first, and then by the fifth, I would have the other remaining. You know what I mean? So it was like normally it was never like her to just go and say, oh, that's it. Like and if like it, our agreement was what it was and how we paid was fine, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. And so that's what threw me off is like when I actually in a time of need, and she just did that. I don't know, I
Why do
don't get
you
it.
think that she suddenly had issue with you? Do you think maybe she's just having some financial problems of her
That's
own?
what I think, that is exactly what I think, but I don't like to speculate or say that. But considering for most of the time, like there would be a month or two,
But
I
see,
think, before
show
this.
me, show me. This young lady didn't fail to pay. She paid partial rent for the month of July. She owed $300. That was what was left over for the month of July. And then early August, she's has an eviction thrown on her.
Yeah, and like the things that were done in the house, like I also did things that were not in the lease. Like I installed a brand new sink, fixed the bathroom, put in all new light fixtures, ceiling fans. We What else did we do? We did a bunch. We fixed the back porch. It was not lit. Like you were not able to walk out on the back porch. It's like no one had been on that back porch in years. It got cleaned off, the
So the
outside
back
AC
porch was
unit.
falling apart, which is probably the
Yes.
same back porch that her daughter fell through and hurt her knee.
Yep, exactly. And we kind of fixed that up. It wasn't perfect. I had like boards laid over it. So like it wasn't perfect, but it was filled with trash, filled vines covered the whole thing. Like you couldn't walk out there. Over the summer, I went out and cut every vine. I cut every tree. Like, you know what I mean? I put a garden in the back. Like I did. I tried to keep it as best as I could too, you know, and then when I got hurt, the person that we paid to do our, you know, stuff like that, like the whole entire backyard got really tall and I couldn't pay anybody anything. I was out of work and I couldn't pay anything. That is where my life fell apart. You know, and I get it. You have to pay your bills. I never denied saying that I didn't owe her money or that, you know, some things weren't done correctly.
You
But
see, you
as
could have contested that in court because you did pay partial payment for the month of July and she accepted it. So
yeah,
the courts were essentially asking you what you would agree to them doing. So you
right.
could have contested it, but you may not have known that at the time.
No, I couldn't stop crying because I kept thinking about how in 2 days after that court date, my children and me would have nowhere to live. Um, and that it was my fault, which, you know, it wasn't my fault that I got in the wreck and got hurt, but, you know, maybe I should have come on here begging and paid my rent. Who knows? You know, that's how I feel right now. I just, like, you know, but I didn't. And that's just, it is what it is. And now here we are. She evicted me. She outed me. She blasted me on all Facebook sites, um, on community websites, which that's the only thing that really ticks me off. Sorry. And she's put me on like a Mom's Rock page is what I'm gonna say because it's our town and then Mom's Rock. She blasted me on there. Our town community page, um, the estate page for where we live, multiple two other sites. Like I had people messaging me photos saying, hey, she's posting these things about you and all of these websites, like all this community websites, like posted on my Facebook. That's as far as it should have went. Posting on my personal Facebook saying, hey, I can't get a hold of you, or hey, this is blah blah blah, this is what's happening. You didn't have to go to community pages and post all of the info and then ask for people to come and take photos of the house like I was going to destroy it. I didn't even know she was trying to reach out to me at this point. I didn't know. I thought she was evicting me. The last I heard from her before my phone got shut off and my internet was off was that she was sending me the 5-day notice and then she was evicting me. And there was nothing I could do about it. I didn't have any money to pay her. She didn't want to accept partial payments. I understood that. I said, that's fine, you know, and that was it. That's what I thought was happening. And then the next I know, a week later, my sister is driving up in my driveway saying, hey, I just want you to know that that this girl is blasting you on all social media sites. She's doing this, this, and this. And yeah, that's how I found out.
Like at the time, even your phone had gotten disconnected because you weren't able to work during that 6 week time
Yeah.
frame.
Yeah, T-Mobile disconnected it, and I got lucky because I was able, like, I figured out like I can make a payment agreement on it, and then I got my phone turned back on by doing a payment agreement. Which actually, what's today, the 7th? Oh, it'll be off again tomorrow, because I owe them so much money, and they've let me do, you know, payment arrangements. Like everything I have had a payment arrangement on it. Anything that was left on had a payment arrangement on it because of it. Like right, like I'm still so in the hole that both of my car payments. I have 2 cars, okay, and my car payments are due, completely due. I have one of my cars almost paid off. It's for my daughter when she turned 16. It's almost paid off. I've been paying on it for 3.5 years. And then I got my new car for me. So what I did for me since I started working my new good job in May, I got me a car in June. And then, which by the way, you have the screenshot. My rent was paid in full in June. Um, but yeah, like both of my car payments are so like I couldn't pay my car payments because of the high rent and deposit. I had to beg and borrow from my family and people. You know what I mean? So both of my car payments are due. Everything's still due. Like I'm not out of the hole yet. You know, and I'm not asking for any help. I don't need any help or any money. I just picked up 2 other jobs. I'm gonna bust out and I'm gonna do this. But I'm just saying, I'm
Yeah,
not the type of person.
here we're not on here to ask for anything.
No, we're not. I'm not. I don't need help. I just want my story told because I was blasted so publicly and by so many of her people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she even had her sister reach out to me. Like, it blows my mind, and I just want my side of the story told. And I'm glad to be able to have that opportunity.
Well, considering, I mean, she's had, you know, financial problems in the past.
Yes.
She's a mother. You're a mother. You had a temporary financial situation. I mean, when she bought the house back in 2013, she paid less than $27,000 is what she borrowed on the house. and then it was almost paid off. It would have been paid off last year, but she took a second mortgage out for $23,000. She's living rent free. I think that empathy is important. I understand, yes, a tenant has to pay their bills, but an eviction was requested after you were only $300 behind. $300 behind for 1 month. 1 month. When you did pay the rent, you didn't pay it all at one time because the way your paychecks fall, y'all had
Yes.
agreed that you could pay um, however you paid. You paid
Yeah,
it.
as I got the money, she didn't care when she got it as long as she got the money, which I tried to do it all at once, but there were times when my checks would be short or they would fall differently and she would get them like, here and then 2 weeks later or a week later. Like that was okay. I've got messages saying from her, like that's okay. As long as I get it, that's all that matters. And clearly if you were paying your mortgage with it, as long as you get it, wouldn't you know what I mean? Like I don't know. That just makes no sense to me.
Well, there was no official lease agreement. It was just something that it looked like she typed up and sent it to you via Facebook.
Yeah, it was. She sent it to my email and I sent back agreed with my name. That was it. And I don't even think it had the address on it for the place in question.
Thank you all for the follows. Thank you all for liking the live. Um, well, I just don't get it. I really don't understand. I don't get it. Um, if just a few $100s is going to put you into foreclosure, that means that you've not been paying, not you, that means that the homeowner has not been paying the money that you've given them to pay the mortgage.
That's what I thought. That's exactly my thoughts. And like I said, it wasn't an issue until all of a sudden it was in such a big issue that she thought, let's go and take her to evict her. Like, I don't, like, what did you need something? Like, like what was going on in your life that all of a sudden this agreement that had been fine for a whole year was not?
Well, apparently there's a lot going on over there because
Clearly.
I can tell you what she's not doing. She's not paying attention to what her daughter's doing on TikTok.
Yep.
And you were advised by a court that you could file suit.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So if she sues me, like, can I counter sue her? Like, I don't, it's not gonna happen. Like, look, if she sues me, is that like mean of me to be like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm not paying you because I want to pay her.
to your well-being, um, and you need to protect your credit score. You need to protect the fact that you now have an eviction. You need to protect you. Okay.
Right.
So if you were to file a suit, you're filing it because you need to protect you and your family.
Yes,
Like you
exactly.
already know that having eviction is going to make it difficult for you to rent someplace else. You already know that it's putting you in a high risk category. So it's kind of like getting a credit card. You're going to have to pay, if somebody's at high risk, they don't have good credit, they have to pay a very high interest rate. So
Yeah.
essentially it's kind of like being punished for not paying your bills. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but yeah, had you known, and you didn't know because you've never experienced this before, but had you known, then yeah, you could have, um, this could have been handled differently through the courts, but you just didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't, all I knew is that I was going to court to be evicted because I didn't pay her, which granted, that's what happens when you go to court. But I thought maybe if because like I had a whole folder ready to show the judge and say like, look, well, all of these things happened to me and all of these things, look at what she's doing in return of my hardships. Like granted, yes, I didn't pay rent, but she said legally, is there anything? And there wasn't legally anything, I just had a financial hardship from my wreck and I couldn't pay her. So technically, I just felt defeated, like I didn't have a case. But I still felt like it wasn't like I should have spoke up more and said, "Hey, no, look what she's doing. This is not right." Just because of what she did. Period. Um,
Yeah, I understand. In the moment, I'm sure that your emotions were high and you just,
yeah, I couldn't stop crying.
yeah, I understand that. But you
And it's
did,
just so nice that her mom was so kind to me, and she didn't even know. She didn't know Like she was like, you know, like she knew what her daughter was doing was wrong. And her mom showed me kindness in that moment more than anybody by saying, I will wait until later next week to pick up the notice. So that way we didn't get evicted within 48 hours. She waited until what was it, last week? Yeah, this week. We just moved in, so this week she waited. Or it was right, yeah, it was this week. Dang, sorry. Um, so yeah, that was cool.
Well, I am very sorry that this happened to you. I hope you never have this experience again. Um, I certainly,
Something needs to be done though about the way she is doing people. Yes, we all have our freedom of speech and our rights to speak about things and to bring, awareness, but to spread nothing but hatefulness and um, to bull people and just degrade them and just for what I just honestly I would just like to know why, like why like are you hurt yourself, like is this what makes you feel not so like I just want to know like what, because like how can I, like I want to comprehend what is happening, how can we save the next person from this happening.
I understand that. And, I have the same feelings about a lot of things that I see on the app. But I've come to the realization that there's some things I will just never understand why certain humans do the things that they do because we're not like minded people. That's something, some things I see people do on here. I would never do that. I just wouldn't. I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine doing. I bring awareness, and hey, I've cracked jokes, and I've done things that I regret. But after an experience that I've had on here, I have a very different um, way of looking at things now. I really do, and
Absolutely.
I will never do things anymore to hurt somebody's feelings. I'll continue to bring awareness because it helps and it's necessary on this app, but I won't do anything to hurt anybody's feelings.
Right. You're not doing it maliciously. You
Right,
don't have malintent. You're doing it, like you said, to bring awareness.
right. Yeah. And, I don't know what her point was for posting this on TikTok. I don't know if she thought that, she was going to get some financial help from people because
Right.
she's complaining about her financial hardships. Was that the reason? You know, um, I can't, because people don't talk about how much money they don't have unless they have a secret agenda behind it.
Mm-hmm.
The beggars do that all the time. They'll talk about how much money they don't have, and it's because they want people to give. They want people to feel sorry for them. So I don't have the answer to that, but I question if that was the purpose because I can't understand any other reason why.
Right.
If when she can give her money to people on TikTok, gifting them, but is complaining that you being 1 month short of $400. You paid 400. You were short 300. So how was that going to put her in the foreclosure? She would have to have been behind multiple times.
Right. She must have, she would have had to not been paying it as it was anyways. I don't get it.
They're not shown Renee. She's covered up. I covered her up, but she ain't covering herself up. KK needs to know that when she's on the internet. I
She
mean,
said, move on. Let's talk about Scotty.
save the children. Save the children. Save your own child because
Yeah, it needs to be because she's asking right there, like she's putting that out there as that's a cry for help. If me personally, if I saw my child um doing that, I would change a lot of things in my life. Period.
like
My kid posts and
them,
right,
knowing what they're doing on the internet, it's so important to know what your
It
kids
is.
are doing on the internet.
Yeah, it really is.
Does anyone have any questions for our guest?
Like I said, I grew up in the town that she was from, and, I know she's had a lot of issues as well. And so I try to show like sympathy because you don't know how people are raised or grow up or any of that stuff. So I'm not here to be malicious to her and be like, but shame on you. That's all I have to say is shame on you for being so inhumane about a situation that could have been handled so between two people versus now social apps, websites that has caused so much harm to one person for what, you know? Um,
For what? For what?
yeah,
Exactly. For what?
for what? What was the purpose of it? That's what I don't understand, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, if anybody doesn't have any questions, you guys can also add me. And Chris knows the story, so if anything comes up or if something gets posted or said, and anybody wants to know if it's true or if it's false or what my side is, I'm more than happy to hop on anytime or say anything.
Well, I'm sure that there will be a
Oh,
rebuttal,
yeah.
but my advice would be instead of worrying about this and having a rebuttal about this, you might want to take care of what's in your own home, honey, because it ain't looking so good. Not you. I'm talking
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
That would be if I were a mother of a child of that age, that would be my priority right there. That TikTok would be gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Hands
And,
down.
and I would
Or
be
even
spending
like,
some time with my child.
right, like ask her, like, what's going on? Why, how do you feel? Like,
And
I
to
mean, she
tell,
just had a dramatic, the
tell the world
move
that she
and,
doesn't know who her father is.
right. And then the dramatic move they just
How
made.
far
So, I
more
mean,
important than her. Like you need to know what your kid's doing.
exactly.
Also,
Well, all
this
right,
is a
Crystal,
trigger
I'm gonna
warning.
hop off.
Her father SA'd
You
me,
guys have
and
a
that's
great
how
night,
I
and
became
thank you
pregnant with
for
her.
letting
So
me
that's
bring
why she's really
awareness.
not involved with her father.
Oh,
So
Teresa,
there's
I
that,
actually did. I
bitch.
am on the waiting list for both of those. Um, I could afford housing. It's just that I can't. I couldn't at the time. It was a temporary setback. I got into a car wreck. What did you say, Sunflower? That
Oh, no. I was just reading one of the comments. You're welcome. I also want to ask who who the picture is of that I had
oh,
posted up here, and I was letting them know who that was.
okay.
And doesn't it take a long time to get Section 8?
Oh yeah. Our waiting list was 3 years out, I believe. But I do move up because, like, I know this sounds bad to say, but because my son's disabled, we do get moved, but it's still at least a year, at the very least. So I did apply for all of those things. I called 211. I asked for rental assistance. My last option was a shelter, which, obviously, I have a vehicle, so I mean, I would probably do that, and then, whatever I had to do. I'm not against that. That could have all been prevented had it been played out correctly and humanely, is what I think.
So you reached out to resources. You did not turn to TikTok
No,
to ask for money or ask for help. KK, when you were needing help, why didn't you turn to resources? You turned to TikTok, and you were very familiar with TikTok, but you turned to
right.
strangers to ask strangers for help.
And just knowing, like, she was in a situation like this before where she was in need, and that's like, show me the same compassion that people showed you.
Right. Yep. Some stranger on the internet helped her. This is someone
Right.
who's from your own community.
Right, and I wasn't asking you for money. I wasn't asking you for anything except a little bit of time.
Actually,
That's it.
it wasn't a stranger. It
Just
was my friend Tara that I
just a
worked
little
with
bit of
and that I've
time to
known
get
for
back on
years
my
and years
feet.
and years.
A payment plan,
So yeah, there's
a
that.
schedule, which would, anything. It didn't have to go down the way it did, and then you publicly humiliate me For what? What did that help you? How did that help you get your money? Which was the whole reason this started over. How did posting me publicly on multiple websites and platforms help you get money? Oh, I mean, I guess that maybe it did help make people feel sorry for her and give her money. Who knows?
Like,
But
you
how did
know,
it help you get money from me?
um,
Never received a
apparently she
dime
wrote a
from this
post
from
on
anyone.
someone else's page that has recently had conflict with the person that she moderates for, and apparently the community has given SP money multiple times throughout the past. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. But, KK buys subs. You can buy subscriptions on here and give them out as a donation to people in the chat. And so she does that for SP. So, I mean, if she's so tight on finances, why is she doing that in
When's
that
the
way
last time I
more?
sent a
I mean,
sub?
the
Tell
priority should
me,
always
please.
be your bills. You were paying your
Right.
bills until you got an accident.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I don't know, KK, do better. That's all I can say. Do better.
By multiple things, not just, like being humane, doing what you got to do for your kids, everything. Like there's so much more than, social media platforms, literally, like that's all I see is social media from her, like about everyone else. But what about the person who needs her most right now? I'm
Right.
just saying.
Yep, I agree.
Maybe this will get back to her and maybe she'll see it and go, oh, wow, maybe I do need to do something about it. Maybe, probably not, but maybe, you never know. Some people's messages reach people in a good way.
Well, I have a feeling it's not going to be, this message isn't going to be taken in a good way.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Um,
pray.
the messages that she sent to on multiple
So,
platforms
I have
about,
no issues
your
if anyone wants to
personal
go over there and tell her that
hardship,
why the reason why I'm not
Yeah,
involved,
wasn't
what more,
very kind and wasn't
he's
very
not
fair.
involved. Because I'm an open book. I don't hide
I
anything.
agree.
I don't put my personal
yeah,
stuff
and
out
I
there because
still
it's
wish her the
personal,
best, and I
you
still
know.
hope that,
But
she gets what she
you know,
needs, whatever
he,
she's looking for, and I hope her
I was
kids,
impregnated against my
are,
will. So
happy. I hope everything
by an
works
older
out
man, by the
for her,
way. I was
regardless of the
16 and he
hardships that
was
her,
21 or 22.
what she has
So
put on me. I still don't
there's
wish
that.
any bad
Thank
to
you.
her. I
Thank you
just wanted to
for
bring
allowing me to
awareness to the
relive that
fact that
tonight.
it's not okay for people to do what she's doing, and that needs to be brought up more than once. Like, hey, this is not okay. Do better by society, do better by people, do better by, it's not yeah, just do better.
Well, I mean, Pamela's not charging her rent to live in the house, so she's living there rent free.
Yes,
Um, I don't get it. I don't get it. But
I
KK,
don't
you need to save the children, honey. Yours.
literally.
So, now you had said that you thought if anything good came out of this, you were talking to me earlier, when we were chatting, that there was, if anything good came out of this, it was what? You talked about when you had to get to the hospital, you had x-rays done, some radiology scans
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, I said if anything good came out of this, it was that the car wreck actually saved my life. Due to me finding out that I had the bone tumor, and I'm seeing an oncologist for it now. So, regardless of all the hardships that have happened, it is a blessing in disguise for that reason right there. Because who knows what could have happened? Could it have gone unnoticed? So I'm very blessed for that.
I'm glad that you're able to, find some positivity out of this situation. It's obviously been very difficult for you in a very short period of time.
Yeah,
Have you gotten
in a
some?
month, my life got turned upside down in a month. Well, 2 months now, I guess, because but yeah, it was not fun. It was not good, and but I got through it. I'm on the other end of it. I'm on the up end of it now. Although I am working 3 jobs and all my bills are behind, but that's okay because we have a home. Um, my kids are happy. They're loved. Um, I'm glad that everything, and now I'm able to share my part of the story, which really has been bugging me, but I've been trying to be cordial. So thank you for the opportunity to be able to share about it, because it has been weighing heavy on me. And I wanted people to know my side too. And I hope this is screen recorded from somebody so that when it gets back to her, she can hear my side of the story. And I hope she listens to it, and it gives her some insight as well.
Yeah, I would like to see compassion come from this. That's what I would
So,
like to see.
me too. Probably not, but me too.
Yeah,
We'll
just
see.
just showing that she actually has a heart and can care instead of just hurting people all the time.
Yeah, and I mean, and I might have unintentionally hurt her by, maybe I did make her, credit score or whatever, her mortgage. Like maybe I did do all of those things by not paying the rent, but it was unintentional, and I'm trying to make it right.
Yeah, the month of July, what month is it going to? I mean, you only owe $300 for the month of July. 300, you'd already paid 400, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. And then I got evicted in August, and so she's saying because I was in August that I owe her August, which I do owe her August, because we were still living there in August. So technically, August, and then 300 from July, which is the whole time I was off work for my injuries.
Well, that mortgage can't be that much because, I mean, when she refinanced it, it was less than $30,000 over
Right.
a year period. I
And
mean,
she told me that she paid it anyways out of her own money. If anything came up, like she was never worried about it until she was. Like it just like it happened suddenly. It changed like her, like it was like now, I need the money
Yes,
now.
because I paid
But
for it
all
out
of
of
a
my
sudden
pocket,
it was not like
and it
that
would put
before.
me
So I don't
behind.
know what
I couldn't do
happened
that
with
because
her.
school
Like I don't
started. They
know.
needed school supplies,
I don't
school
know.
clothes.
really
I'm still
needed
trying to
that
get my damn
money
car
so
fixed.
that she
Right.
could
That
keep
still
more
hasn't
posts on
happened.
TikTok.
Um, and I was
Very
tired of doing
true.
it. I was tired of going
But yet
paycheck to
her
paycheck,
mortgage isn't
paying
paid. I don't
rent
get
that
it.
you were supposed to pay.
Yeah, maybe SP was
Um,
desperate for more subscribers,
you were
so
in there. She
she
was in there
desperately
every single
needed
day
that
of August
money
and into
to
September.
purchase subscribers
She
and
was
gift out
out the first
for
week of
SP.
September.
I don't know. I'm just being
That's
sarcastic,
crazy.
but
You
it
never know.
honestly wouldn't surprise me.
You never know. You don't have money to pay your mortgage, but you're buying new subscribers every day and sending them out for for her. Like, that's crazy.
It was
She could
your
have been, that's very true.
mortgage.
She said she could have been a couple months behind too. That's
I have
very,
not.
very true. And I think that's what happened, to be
Ridiculous.
honest, in my opinion. Just my personal opinion is that the money it did send maybe didn't go to what it was supposed to. And she got behind and expected it at a certain time. And then my, life, obstacle happened, and then there was none. And so she was like, OSH, you know what? So,
Instead of purchasing school clothes for her kids, because school just started, maybe she overspent on TikTok gifts and subscribers for SP, and then that made her short for buying school clothes for her kids. Who knows?
right,
So
because those, they
That
add up,
the let me move this, the
all the money you can spend on there. Like, it's crazy.
567.63. That's the payment. That's my
The
payment
amount of
amount.
money that people, the subscribers
I've
and
never
all this
taken out a
stuff, like, it
second
all
mortgage.
adds
I'll
up.
literally go through every single one of these transactions.
yeah,
So I don't know
some
what she's talking
businesses would have
about.
made
You
yeah
can see the
because a
late
mortgage of
charges.
less than thirty thousand
The last
dollars
time a payment was made
financed
was
over the
June.
course of 20
I can't
years,
make partial
Yeah, do the math
payments.
on
I'm
that.
not allowed.
$210 a month.
So she owed
Yeah, do the
for
math on that.
July and
And then
August.
she
She
tried
was
to say
out
it was
the very
low
first week of
rent because
September
of
because my mom couldn't do the stuff until
the
the
stuff
day
that
after
needed
Labor
fixed in the
Day.
house. Are you
So,
kidding me? Low rent. I mean, like,
oh,
you're
and
like you
then
said, your mortgage couldn't have been that much, right? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. How,
that's
like,
biohazard.
do the
That's
math
black
on
mold.
that, because
That's the
she
small hole
told
she
me
was
that she would
talking
send, because
about.
I was like,
And these are the
I
pictures
can't
that were taken
basically
that
she told me
weren't even
she
anywhere
would
near the
send me
house.
a
Nobody
photo
has
of
taken
her
pictures.
mortgage
If
loan
there's a
to
person out
show
in the
that it
front
was
taking
going
photos, it was
to our
probably the
mortgage,
the
because that's what
not
she
the
was
escrow
saying. She
people,
needed just that amount just
the
for the
people who go
mortgage.
out
She never
and
did send it. So I
do
don't know.
like home. What's the
I've
word?
been wondering that myself.
Yeah, how
That
much did she say she needed
check the
just to cover the
properties. That's
mortgage?
not even affiliated with me.
700 exactly was for the mortgage. No,
And then this
no
is
less, no
me
more. It was all
on
going to the mortgage.
August 7th. I told her that I would not be renewing her lease
And
for
the house,
another
yeah, the
year.
house was
Like I wouldn't be
livable.
renewing it. And then
Yeah,
July
it
was
was livable. There
still
was, I mean, the floors
$400,
in the front room were
and
completely
it's 4 weeks past
destroyed.
due.
There was a hole in the
So
roof, which, by the way, I had mentioned to her,
yeah,
and she never said anything about it. She said, oh, because she said she had renter's insurance on the house. And then I mentioned the hole in the
So
ceiling.
she has renter's insurance in the house.
Right, yeah, that's
Why does she have renter's insurance?
right. I don't know. But yeah, so, but the house was livable. It was fine. It wasn't,
no, I told
it
her
wasn't
to
like
get renter's
like
insurance. I
condemning me
have
bad or
insurance
anything. There was
on my
just
house. I
stuff,
told
but yeah, she has
her
renter's
that it would
insurance
be
on it, and
smart
there
to
was a
get
hole in the
renter's
roof,
insurance in
but it
case
didn't
my
dig through the
insurance
ceiling. And we
didn't
just tried
cover
to tell
any of
her
her
like, hey,
stuff.
look, this is
God,
something you might want to. What do you want us to do? We don't want it to ruin your house any further. And nothing ever got done about that. Like there was always like little things we reached out to her about and told her like, hey, this is going on. Do you want us? What do you want us to do? And we never got responses. Like it wasn't a big deal. But now that no one's there, and it's a huge deal. Like it's her baby or home, and it just that it makes no sense to me. That's all. Make it make sense, please. Because it wasn't a big deal until it was, and it just seems like all a clout thing to me, and it drives me nuts.
Was she kind and cordial at least to you throughout the past year that you've lived there?
Oh yeah, she was fine. Very polite, never really rude until that money didn't come, and then boy, she flipped the script on me. I literally thought like, okay, this like I have messages. This girl was so nice, and like everything, like my, it was just, and then she flipped the script, and turned in. I mean, she flipped a 180, like evil stuff. Like I have things that were just this shouldn't be said, like very rude, disrespectful. Um, yeah. So yeah, she flipped the script on me after.
Did you voice to her that this was putting you and your children into a very difficult situation?
Absolutely. I begged her, begged, said I would do anything. Told her my situation. I said, "Look, please, like do not do this to us. Please do not make me move right now. I can't. There's no way I can. I didn't think I could. I didn't think that I was going to be able to do this." Um and she just said, "No." That was it. Well, I got like a 3-line text after I begged her with like 5 paragraphs, telling her like I would do whatever she needed. Like, let me make a payment plan. I will get her the money. Like, we were trying to borrow, and like I was gonna, I was figuring it out, and she just said no. Something I can't remember what it was, but it was a 3-line text. Literally, that was it.
So she just wouldn't work with you at all. I'm sorry. Very sorry. Um, if I were in a situation where I was living rent free, and I had a home with a tenant in it, and this happened just personally, I would have been empathetic, and I would have said, okay, you gave me more than half of the rent for July. I'll accept that. Please just catch up, or we would have made an agreement for you to catch up. I wouldn't have just thrown you out on the streets with your kids.
Right. I mean, and especially like if you're put in a situation where it's a financial hardship for you, have to find a new tenant, evict me, find somebody. You haven't even found anybody. You gotta have to find somebody, like make sure the house locks are changed, make sure the house is in order, and do everything. And you're still not gonna get your money. So why not just let the current tenant who's staying there pay you money and fix fix what's like the behind rent and stuff like that makes no sense. Yeah, and I was, especially like I was in a car accident. Like what, like I, it makes no sense to me. I tried to get short-term disability through my job, but I didn't
she
qualify because
wasn't
you have to work like
paying
31
me.
consecutive days, and I had switched positions. Even though I
That's
worked there for
what
31
the
consecutive
problem
days,
is.
since I had switched positions, they said that I
Oh
didn't
my
qualify, which is
goodness.
BS. But um, yeah,
Goodness, it was just one thing after another for you.
yep, it sure was, and it just didn't help that my landlord of a year just threw me for a loop and threw
I
me
had
out
to
on
implement
my butt with my
the
kids and
late
my
fee
life in
every
shambles,
single
and had no
month,
compassion.
except
Um,
for
How did this affect
someone
you?
1 month, which
older
was,
that I
no, two
grew up
months. I'm
with,
sorry, 2 months.
we lived in the same
So
community, and we
she was
said hi
there
in the
for
hallways at
11
school,
months.
like, you know what I mean? Like things like that, like that.
So what,
like
nine
just
nine
that,
months.
you know, knowing
I
that
had
she's
to
been in
implement the late
hardship.
fee
I
of
have children, she has
$50.
children. She knows
$50.
life happens. I
But
know life
9
happens.
months,
Like,
I had
just
to
show some
implement the late fee.
compassion.
How has this affected your children? Because I know you have kids, especially your child with autism.
The move is horrible whenever because it disrupts the routine. Um, and it just completely disrupted our whole routine. Our whole life flipped upside down. My daughter was afraid, you know, because we're having to move so far away, she's not going to get to see her friends. Well, I'm having to commute back and forth to their school, which is a 25-minute drive. And like it's a hardship, you know what I mean? And it's hard on my kids, especially my son because the routine's disrupted. Once the routines are disrupted with children with autism, it takes a while to rebuild
She's
that.
paid the rent on
Yeah.
time
And
twice.
here we are
Every other
trying to
time
do
she was
exactly
late,
that.
for those asking. The rent was
Well,
$700
thank you so
for a
much for
4-bedroom, 2-bathroom,
for sharing your
on an
story,
acre
your
of
side of the
land.
story.
The
Thank you for sending me a
I
copy
wanted her
of
to do
the
some
lease
work. I
agreement
had already
and
patched up the small
other
holes and stuff because kids get
receipts
rowdy.
because it's nice
I
to
just
see
wanted her to
those
paint, put some peel
to
and
back
stick
what you're
flooring
saying.
on,
And
um,
I appreciate you,
and
and
that's
I
pretty
wish
much it.
you the best of luck.
And a door needed to be
I hope
replaced. The
the
master
kids
bedroom needed to be replaced.
settle
That's it.
into
That's all.
to
And like
school,
minor
and
stuff, like if she wanted to,
I wish
instead of
you
doing the
luck
things
with
that were in the lease,
your
she
healing.
decided
Your healing
to
from the accident.
replace the kitchen sink.
Your niece,
Oh,
bless
and
your heart. I
she
couldn't,
stole
like I said, I couldn't even
my
show the
$300 deep
screenshot of
freeze, which
that.
is a misdemeanor in Oklahoma.
Yeah, we will pray for you.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. But I've got to work tomorrow, so I'll hop off here. But like I said, if anything, you know, you can contact me about anything. I'm here.
Certainly will. I certainly will.
All right.
We'll be in touch. If you need help with anything, just reach out to me. If there's anything I can help you with, I will help you.
I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys.
All right, hon.
Bye.
Bye. Do you know how to? Nope, there she is. She's out. Okay, let me change the picture. Did everybody get their screenshots of what they need? Y'all need me to post any more screenshots so that you can get your screenshots?
It's not rented out now because I have to go through and do thousands of dollars of work. I have to get biohazard cleanup in there. I have to get big trash cleanup in there.
Okay.
Like it's genuinely horrible. Like I cried.
So I'm gonna change this one.
I cried to see something that that was my home for so many years be left in. I'm not gonna cry because they're screen recording.
I found this
Be
one
left
to
in
be
that kind
kind
of
of
condition.
funny.
It was
This
awful.
was in her on her TikTok in 2024. It said she would go to jail. If you guys want a screenshot of that one, you can take it. And let's see. So that's when she needed some help. Anything.
Yep. And this one doesn't have the date on it, but it was in 2021. So in 2021, before I became a part of the awareness community, I did ask for help because I was behind, and my friend Tara had helped me
my
out,
personal opinion is I would have been
and I have the proof
what
of
I would
that
consider
actually.
reasonable due to the situation. Due to the situation.
But yeah, 2021, and these posts are still up on my page. I'm not hiding anything. Oh, there we go. Yeah, 12/11/2021. So before I even became a part of the awareness community.
I mean,
And
I
all
didn't
these posts are
expect a
still up. Go
certain
look.
side to agree with this, but I mean, she put it out there, so all I did was ask questions. I reached out. Just like the old telephone commercial, reached out, touched someone. Alrighty, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna hop off. That was this evening's live, so I appreciate you all for joining me for this awareness live. And no, you can't live rent free. And I mean, she stated that. I mean, she didn't expect to live rent free, and it was only 1 month. It was the month of July. Minus, she's only minus $300. Um, I would have given her a break due to the situation, as opposed to throwing a mom and her kids out on the street. Good to see you, Taffus. I hope that you're doing well.
She absolutely did expect it. So
Yeah,
Sunflower
I
Goddess,
definitely would have
technically
also.
no. Well, her lease was up at the
I
end of
mean, you know, she
September.
didn't reach out to social media
I
like a lot of people
evicted her,
would
but on
for help.
the first week of August, August 7th, I told her that I would not be renewing her lease. So she knows.
Yeah,
She
she
knew that
took
she needed
minutes
to leave
understanding
anyways,
the
that I wasn't
process.
renewing
Like
her
she said,
lease.
she was
At
basically a
that
nervous
time,
wreck when
this
she
is
went
my
to court.
opinion. My opinion.
And just didn't
I think she
understand. She was
decided to
frantic,
just not
not
pay
knowing
me
what
and
she was
save
gonna
up for when
do
she had to move.
with her kids.
But
If I have two
I
kids getting ready to be
gave her a
evicted,
break every month,
I mean, I'm sure it's a very
every
scary
single month.
situation to be in
And you know what?
when
I'm honestly
school's
glad
just
that she went on
starting,
live and did this today, because this is going
trying
to
to
make
find a
it
house.
just so much better.
It's hard to find a place to rent these days.
And right now she's showing my minor daughter.
Rentals aren't a dime a dozen. Liza Tamari, did you want to come up or are you busy? It is a sad situation. Okay.
And look, you guys,
All right,
I'm
guys.
very
I'm
open
fixing
and
to sign
honest,
off. Thank you
and
guys
that's
for
why at
coming
first I
in. I
started to do this
appreciate it.
like
Um,
unlisted, but then whenever I realized
hopefully
that my
you'll put in
tenant
a
was up there, I
rebuttal
wanted to make sure that I
so you
shared
can
everything,
focus
because I'm
all that
open, I'm honest,
energy
and if I say something,
on
I want to make sure that
taking care of her kids because obviously her daughter
I
needs
show
you.
it. So
You have a good night too.
that's why
You're
I
very
went public with
welcome.
it.
Good night.
Rock On With Me, it's in Oklahoma. Let me go stop this really quick. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna go outside real quick. Hold on. Sorry, that was probably loud. Okay. I did film the whole thing. It's on my YouTube. That whole ordeal, and it is public because I don't hide anything. The court, I won. I won the stuff because I mean she owes me money. There was so maybe biohazard is the wrong word I'm using, but there was black mold So hazardous clean out, but there was black mold. Coco, no, I didn't. I wasn't going to post the condition of the home because I was going to settle this in court and I wasn't going to be petty. So that's why I didn't, I wasn't going to do that because, yeah, but this is just like, yeah, the court sided with me. That's black mold on a mattress. Those are the small holes. Yeah, BS, that I'm pretty sure the floor in that room, I mean, I don't know. I haven't physically been there yet. Sorry, I was lagged out. But these are the photos that were sent to me. That's it. Nothing from the assessor. The assessor went out last week. No, not last week, the week before. Yeah, the assessor went out, and I can actually post proof of that. And this is I've never taken that a second. Oh, Gamecock Gal, it's horrendous. It's so bad. It was really bad. Exactly, BS. Yeah, there was mold on a mattress, a child's mattress. I don't like bringing kids into this. That's not me. I do not fault her son at all. She brought my kids into this claiming that I was abusing them because I allow my daughter to freely express herself. Like, I don't, it's, she didn't really leave furniture there. Allegedly, she stole my $300 deep freeze. I don't know what the cause of the mold was because it was on a mattress. And I don't know exactly, they went there at 10 a.m. when they were supposed to change the locks, and she did a walkthrough. She did not go in until the sheriff got there. So it's not like she put the mold on there, you know? But I don't know the cause of the mold. I guess repeated it being wet over and over again. Here. The door is off its hinges. It wasn't like that before. It's just, oh, and all of the smoke detectors were ripped out of like every single room. I kept telling my mom to stop touching stuff. It's like, stop touching stuff. This is the mattress. And she, of course, freaking touched that. And I'm like, don't, Mom, that's black mold. At least it looks like it to me. I sent a picture of it to the cleanup people, and that's what they told me that it was. It was black mold. And then you can kind of tell on the very bottom that there's mold too there. Yeah. And she did replace the light fixtures, which was not in the lease. Oh, and I don't know if you caught it, but up top there was a missing, what's the word? Smoke detector. Oh, yeah, the wicked one. Absolutely. And that's what the people said too, that it was black mold. Like these, it's really bad. Like this, it's really, really bad. She lived there, like 11 months. 11 months. Yeah. She lived there 11 months, and she was late 9 times out of the 11 months she lived there. So, I mean, so my mom went in there and did a walkthrough, and I screen recorded all of it. Give me 1 second. She called me back because she went to the backyard. Hold on, let me grab this. And the backyard was just filled. Hold on, I sent the... Oh yeah, it might have been paused. I was looking at something, I'm sorry. Let me get my VAPE. Hang on, this other video is sending. But what she said to my mom was what she said my mom said was absolutely untrue. I was on the phone with her, so that's untrue. Yeah, and I even said in the lease itself that it was her responsibility to cut the grass. So, yeah, I hope they don't condemn it. That would be awful. I don't think they will. I don't think they will. It's not like terrible yet. It's not super terrible. It just broke my heart. Okay, let me pull this up. Oh wait, I don't know if this hasn't... Crap, hold on, because that has sound. Hold on. See, this is my old phone that I'm streaming on. Like, I literally... Ooh, okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to do this. I can't read y'all's comments. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I'm scrolling up. Scotty needs me. Oh. Yeah, it does need a lot of work. But you know what? And she can tell her story. You know, that's why I went live. That's why I went public. Like, I'm not hiding anything. Was I miffed at the end because of everything that happened? Absolutely. Did I usually pay the rent and then just pray to God she would pay me? Absolutely. Because even though she was late, she was still paying before it got like to the 3rd week, you know? So I was okay with it. But then she stopped paying. And I let her know that I couldn't continue to rent to her after her lease was up. So she did know. She did know. She's allowed to tell her story. Absolutely. I don't have any qualms against that. Like I said, I could literally go through our entire chat message. Yeah, it was $700 a month for a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Was it perfect, shiny, brand new? Absolutely not. Nope. Did it need some work? Like new flooring installed, some paint, like some small holes, like pinholes patched, sanded and painted? Absolutely. Oh, with the roof, like 2 years prior, had some water damage, and that was fixed. The stuff that she was talking about, the roof, I think 2 tiles had flown off up top, the roofing tiles, and there was some discoloration, but that was from when it previously happened. And instead of replacing that whole panel up on the roof, like inside, I was like, look, it's just staining, it's not damaged, it's not a big deal, because that would have cost for money. I'm waiting for this video to upload of the backyard. I agree. And that's what I wanted. I did not really want to make a huge profit. I just wanted the mortgage to be paid, and I wanted let me turn this down. I wanted the mortgage to be paid, and then I wanted the minor repairs done. Like, that's it. I didn't ask for a whole lot. Okay, let me pull this up. I love you too, Beast Mode. Come.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the backyard. All that
It's
trash, all that
junk
garbage.
right there. The porch.
It gets not as blurry in just a second.
The porch wasn't fixed.
But yeah, all that was in the back. It's grown up. She left that back there.
See, I mean,
all of that trash back there. Some of that might have been there before, maybe, but maybe. It's totally grown up.
Like,
crazy.
I don't see much of nothing being fixed on the porch.
And then I told her the back porch, it wasn't in great condition. Like, I didn't expect for that to be fixed. So, like, yeah.
They
But
got old
mattresses back there as well.
Just a bunch of trash.
She didn't, so she replaced the faucet.
There's trash right there. I mean,
replaced
I don't
all
know
of
if they had a
the
trash service
light
or not.
fixtures.
Anyway, sister, I know.
I can't.
I don't know. Trash can out there, so.
Trash on the side. Well, just junk on the side.
No, I had them come and get our trash can.
And then I don't want it to show the front of the house. Just so, yeah. But, yeah, so she already had the light fixtures and the flooring before she even moved in. I have photos of that. So she didn't spend any additional money to fix the things because she already had it. Beast Mode, yes, her father was living there, allegedly. Hello, Grandpa from Tampa. But I had it was an acre. It was an acre of land. She reached out to her because I posted about being sad because it was left trashed, which was the truth. And then I guess she scrolled all the way back because someone had found where I posted in 2021 about needing assistance to help pay my car payment before I became a part of the awareness community. So she just wanted to, like, I don't know, expose me. Yeah, she didn't pay the rent. She did cut the backyard a little bit when she first moved in. I do have photos of that. So she did do that. Was I kind of petty at the end? Yeah, she didn't pay the rent. She did cut the backyard a little bit when she first moved in. I do have photos of that. So she did do that. Was I kind of petty at the end, who her father was? That's not true. She does. And trigger warning, I was raped, and that's how I became pregnant with her. So that's why she doesn't really have a whole lot to do with him. So there's that. And yeah, it's just a whole lot of nonsense. And she can tell her story the way she wants to, and that's fine. I have all the receipts as well, so I'm really not too worried about it. Rock on with me. I'm really like, my last concern right now is renting it out, really. Like, it's going to take a while to get it fixed up. I'm not even thinking about that right now, if I'm being honest. And I know beast mode. But, I mean, I'm an open book. Yeah, I don't speak about children. Like, if I really wanted to, I could speak about some stuff with Doug, but I didn't because there's no proof, and I don't really speak about children. I don't. That's just not my thing. I may make a comment here and there, but I don't really do it. And the fact that she had, like, my minor child's photo up there was wild to me. Yeah, camping girl, I agree. And you know, I allow my child to express herself however she wants to, whether it be clothing, whether it be posting about things. You know, I've been with the same man. We're married now for over a year. I've been with him almost 10 years. I've never... Like, I've had different boyfriends and stuff growing up, but, like, I've only ever had one other man meet my children. So. But I'm open. I'm an open book. Like, I could, like I mentioned earlier, I could talk about how she doesn't have custody of a few of her children, but, you know, that's not what I do. Exactly, Secret. Like, she wants to wear, it's hot over here. If she wants to wear shorts and a tank top, by God, let her wear shorts and a tank top. And the fact that they were commenting on what she was wearing because of her body, that's disgusting. She is tall and she is beautiful. And, you know, if she doesn't want to wear oversized shirts and big, huge basketball shorts, she doesn't have to. I let her express herself the way she wants to. With her hair, if she wants to get a piercing, she can get a piercing. Like, Robin, I don't know. I don't know. She refuses to say anything, but I'm going to download this and upload it on my YouTube. So if anyone's in here screen recording, just go take it from my YouTube. Like, and I do everything publicly. I post publicly here. I post it publicly on my Facebook. And I don't hide nothing. BS, you're saying the PI's name? That's what the PI's name is? Yeah, beast mode. And you know what? And that's why I did this publicly. That's oh, that is her name? Oh, okay. Interesting. That's why I did it publicly. Because I ain't got nothing to hide. I wanted everyone... I recorded this not only on SP's YouTube, but my YouTube, and I went public. Because I ain't got nothing to hide. So, that's why I was like, hell, I'll go live. Let's all watch it together. Let's all talk about it. Because I ain't got nothing to hide. I asked for help in 2021 on my car payment because I was behind because some stuff happened. I made a post in my work uniform and I said the F word while I was in my work uniform, and somebody didn't like that and went to corporate, which is fine. That's their own thing to do. Like, I did something wrong. I never blamed it on anybody else. I did something wrong. I said the F word while I was in my work shirt, and I posted it on TikTok. So, like, I did something wrong and I was fired. But here's the funny thing. They contacted me shortly after wanting to rehire me, and I said no. Because I was fired so easily. I'm just like, no. Yeah, BS. Well, and like I said, if I did it, I'll own it. Like, I mean, I've even posted screenshots that were very damning that I've made, that of comments I've made. I posted them on my own TikTok and pinned them. Like, if I said it, I will own it. I don't think I've ever... Oh, and she did mention the fundraiser also, again, for my daughter's stuff. And she straight up said that the money never goes through my hands. It goes directly to the school. So I'm not even going to mention that. Yeah, bitch, because I don't sit on here and beg and ask for money. My tenant, Lorena, because she said her own name, did go online and beg. So, right, Beast Mode? Why did she bring... I don't know. Just to say, I don't know. I really don't. It's a fundraiser because sports are expensive, and I've talked about this before, if I had the extra $20,000 to donate to the school to cover all the kids, new equipment, new uniforms, shoes, competition fees, everything like that, I would in a heartbeat. I absolutely would in a heartbeat. But I don't. Unfortunately, I don't have the extra $20,000. And her saying, okay, Secrets, yeah, I see him messaging me, but I can't pull it down and look, or everyone will see it on there. Yeah, Grandpa, it's because allegedly I didn't have any compassion, and she said herself, like, she was fine. Yes, Coco, she has a very interesting past. Very interesting. But I wasn't going to talk about it. But, maybe we should talk about how she dropped her children off at someone's house and said, we're going to go get this car and we'll be right back. Well, they left for hours. They didn't come back that night. And then the next day, this person messaged her and said, if you're not here in the next, 30 minutes or whatever, I'm calling the police because you abandoned your children. She was gone for almost 24 hours. And then she was there within 10 minutes. But I'm not going to talk about that. Yeah. There's so much that I could talk about. But I'm not, because I wasn't going to bring it to that level. Did I comment on public posts saying, hey, if you guys know this person and know how to contact her, please let her know I'm trying to get in contact with her because she's late on her rent? Did I do that? Absolutely. 100%. I took screenshots myself, and I'm pretty sure one of her friends messaged me and threatened to unalive me if I didn't take them down. So I did. I took them down because I got unalive threats. Yeah, she said her phone was disconnected, and then, she also said that her sister drove to her house to tell her. That's not what she told me. She said when she went to go pick up her daughter, because her daughter plays on her Facebook. Really? Okay. Weird. She said that when she went to go pick up her daughter from her sister's house, that's when she was told. So that was already a lie. Florida Gator, I'm going to go over there. He's been messaging me, but I'm going to go over there in just a minute. I was just going through some things. But then she all of a sudden had her phone back, and then 3 days later her phone was going to get disconnected again. I didn't realize that had that people do that. I don't know, that just seemed odd to me. It's just a lot of things that don't add up. And I posted I never said her name here on TikTok. I didn't even know her TikTok. I don't care if she has a TikTok. She's not blocked. Like, she can literally see everything. Oh, by the way, the defamation of character thing wasn't about her. Sorry, my phone went dark. Yeah, I think she bought a vehicle at the end of June. At the end of June, she got a new one. Well, new-ish. But she still owed $400 in July. She said it herself. I'm just repeating what she said. Yeah, I was always paid late. Always. But, you know, and like she mentioned before, I did usually just pay it and pray to God she would pay me back. That's what I did. Because I didn't want it to be late, because I didn't want that to go on my credit, because my mother is a co-signer, because I bought this house years ago. I've never done a second mortgage, so I don't know where that information came from. I really don't know. I mean, that didn't do that to my knowledge, so I'd like to see the proof on that. Yeah, and she can be spiteful, but that was really weird, like to bring my daughter up, like really gross. Yeah, she expected it, and then she's like, oh, all of a sudden it became a problem. Well, yeah, bitch, I'm trying to get my car fixed because I've been paying for a car that I haven't been able to use this whole time. Trying to get my car fixed, trying to save up money because I haven't seen my family in over a year. In over a year, I haven't seen my family. I went from going every weekend seeing my mother and my family to nothing. So I've been trying to save up money to get them out here so I can visit them. I miss them. I'm not going to cry on the internet. I miss them. My kids miss them. You know, school starts. Cost of living is higher over here. Like, with school starting and all the fees due, I couldn't pay it in July. I couldn't pay it in August. And that's just wild to me that she said that. It's a freaking Dodge Journey. It's a 2017 Dodge Journey. There's a recall on it. I need to get it in there for the recall. It'll be September 23rd is when I get it in there to fix the recall. And I'm hoping that this will work. I was going to get it on the 4th, but I had an insurance mix up and the dude was an idiot. Yeah, hot pink girl. My mom is like my rock. I love her so much, and it's been hard. It's been hard. But I absolutely have been paying my rent, or the mortgage, which is almost $600 a month. I had her pay $700 a month, so that's like $100. $100 extra a month. And with 3 kids, that doesn't go far. And I can, here, and in case there's anyone in here that wasn't in here before, I'll freaking show it. And I'll show the last time. So, as you can see, so it's $567.63 is what my payment is every month. Almost $600. And I charged her $700 a month. And you can see the last payment. The top part is cut off because it has my information on it. So, I'll just to clear that up. Yeah, my insurance is I have like insurance package to where it's cheaper every month. But I have to have homeowners insurance. So yeah, 567.63. The last payment was on June 6th. And I think that's because I paid it. I paid it on time. Because I don't think she paid me on time. May 6th. Like, here, let me. I'm sorry, I keep sniffling. I'm trying to get over this cold. Okay. Come on, go down. Okay, and then before that, April 15th. So that was late. Why won't you let me scroll down? Okay, it's locking up. But, I think right now oh, thank you. Yes, it's in Oklahoma. And I'm so sorry. So I was not paying attention at all. I know that people sent me gifts. They're appreciated. They're not necessary. I recycle everything. So, oh, the comp rental in that area is like $2,000. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom on 1 acre of land. It's not like fancy dancy, nothing crazy, nothing fancy, but it was mine. It was mine, and it made me feel awful to see what I seen. It just sucked. It sucked, and to know that since I'm so far away, my mom and these other professional companies are going to have to do this. But mainly, my mom and her friends are going to go do some of the light cleaning stuff that they can handle. But for the big stuff, she's not going to be able to do that. She's it's getting older. She can't do those things. So. Yeah, Banner. And tomorrow, so I talked to some companies whenever my mom went in there, and I showed them some of the footage, and they're like, well, unless we go look at it, we can't give you quotes. But it's going to be probably close to 2,000. And BS, it was kind of, it's like in the middle of 3 larger cities in a little quaint town. Like, it was nice. Yeah, Grandpa from Tampa. I don't know if I'm going to keep it as a rental because this was awful. Like, this was awful experience. The first little while, she was fine. Like, she was fine. At one point, I absolutely did tell her, like, hey, we might have to rethink some of like the rental agreement because it was overwhelming. She was late every single time almost, and it sucked having to scramble because I don't want my mom's credit to be affected, and it was affecting both of our credits, and oh, by the way, I bought it as a HUD home. So there's no refinancing it, by the way. And I can't pay a partial payment. Let's see. So I don't know. I would like to know who refinanced my home because I didn't. But yeah, it's a HUD home. So there's very special, like, things going on with that. The rental agreement, since I am a private landlord, it was just, I typed something up. I asked her if that was okay, and she told me to add the address to it, and I did. I'm not showing that because I'm not going to dox anyone. And I was just trying to help someone out. She gave me the sob story of where she was living at the time. And I wanted to help a mom out, I just wanted to help a mom out. I didn't want to make a whole lot of money. I just wanted to take someone to take care of my home while I was gone. That's all I wanted. And I got screwed, man. I got screwed. But that's okay. Yeah, and BS, I will literally, and that's why I'm public. I've said it 100 times, and I'm sorry I keep repeating myself. That's why I went public. I have nothing to hide. Was I petty at the end and upset? Absolutely. 100%. But being petty is not against the law. Stealing a $300 appliance is, however, against the law. So, there's that. Yeah, that's true, Beast Mode. That's true. And I'm just I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I'll figure it out. It'll be fine. I'm gonna get my car fixed, hopefully with the recall at the end of the month. And I'll be able to. Yeah, she took a $300 deep freezer. Allegedly. I have to say allegedly, because I'm going to file a police report. Well, my mom has to go file a police report, and they're going to check the serial numbers. And if the serial number on that is marked off, then we know what's up. And it's just sad. It's just sad. But I'm glad that she went up and told her story and, got that off her chest. What she doesn't realize is this is going to negatively impact the court case. Camping Girl says, can everyone pray for us in Louisiana? We are fixing to take a hit from this tropical storm. Over 100 people in here. Prayers, good vibes, anything you want to do. That would greatly be appreciated. Yeah, BS. I did rely on the payment because she was paying the mortgage for living there, I wasn't making a whole lot of money. I was making like a little over $100. If that, like a little over $100. That's it. If I really wanted to, I could have jacked the price up to 1,000. But I didn't. I just wanted to help. I just wanted to help a mom in need. And there's 3 sides to every story. My side, their side, and the truth. And I have no issues. She had a $100 non-refundable deposit just because she had pets. But like I said, Coco, I didn't want to make a whole lot of money off of this. That wasn't my point. I just wanted it to be taken care of and looked after. Yes, Banner, I am filing a court. I'm filing in court for civil. I'm going to be talking to lawyers on Monday. And if she wants to countersue, absolutely. And she even said herself, crazy meme, that I was very kind at the beginning, and then when it got down to the end of it, when she kept being late over and over and over again, I got upset, and that's the truth. I absolutely got upset because she was late. I have no idea, Coco. And frankly, I don't care where she's at. I hope the best for her and her children, considering that moldy mattress that was in that room with black mold. But, her saying all this stuff, like I said, I was on the phone with my mom when she was talking to her. And I contacted her so many times, like, hey, just a friendly reminder, rent is due, friendly reminder, can I get an ETA? I was very kind to her throughout this whole ordeal, until the very end. And then she posted something on Facebook begging people for help, for money, and doxed her whole address. But yet she was worried about me having a neighbor across the road take a photo. Because I did. I absolutely did check with my neighbors. Hold on, I dropped my VAPE. I absolutely did check with my neighbors. And I was like, hey, can anyone check on my home for me? Like, I'm just concerned. She's not answering. Because my first thought was, oh my gosh, I wonder if she's okay. Because she wasn't answering me. Sometimes she'll take a couple days, but, she wasn't answering me. Oh no. I screwed something up. I don't know Coco. I don't know if she really had an accident. I know that she got a new car at the end of June. Oh, and she said something about like the AC unit in the back, like re-leveling it. I had no idea that there was an issue until she had told me that it was like re-leveled. I had no idea what she's talking about. Yeah, BS. And she wants to say, oh, they did it to us. It's okay if they did it to us. No, I do not recall any time that I've put a child on the internet. Please, if someone sees differently, please let me know, because I own up to my mistakes and I own up to what I've done. She's full of nonsense. She's full of malarkey. But and I knew as soon as she said that she was going to have a special guest tonight, I immediately said, you know what? It's going to be about me. And I was right. And see, Grandpa from Tampa, I didn't really know her. I vaguely remembered her from like going to school with her and like seeing her name around. Yeah, Banner. And she doesn't, because, well, I have the receipts from all the stuff that she had before she moved in. And even if she deletes it off her Facebook, off of our messages, I've already screen recorded all the messages, every single one of them. So, womp womp. Let me... Oh my god, my cat. Hold on. Sorry, she's very loud and obnoxious and tries to get out every chance she gets. She's a little naughty kitty cat. Yeah, a defamation might. I'm really not worried about all that because, she can... Oops, picked up the wrong phone. She can have her own opinion about everything. And that's fine. Like, she's probably hurt and frustrated because she was evicted. And what's funny is she she's saying all these things, but I assure you that she can't prove it. I assure she can't prove that her new tenant is making her pay more because of the post. I'm sure she can't prove that. I'm sure she can't. And I have all this recorded. So whenever I go to court, I'm going to make sure to have that. And I'm going to clip it all. Yeah, and I'm not really worried about all the defamation and like all that stuff. I just want my stuff paid for. I just want the back rent. I just want the damages paid for. Like, that's all. That's all. And so, and for the lease, just real quick. So for the lease, in agreement of the $700 a month, she needed to do certain repairs. I made very specific repairs, very specific. And that's why the rent was so cheap, because it needed some repairs. So now it's like, well, you didn't do your part on the lease, so does that mean I'm like, I can get regular rent for those months? I don't know. All right, guys. I appreciate you all sitting here with me and listening to me jabber on and, listen to it. Like I said, I'm going to download this and I'm going to upload it on my YouTube, because I'm public and I'm not hiding anything. I appreciate anyone who sent gifts. Please don't be going to look up minors' Facebook and TikTok posts. That's just weird. It's just weird. I don't recall myself ever doing that, and to bring my child into that was really gross and really weird. Just don't do that. And yeah, just don't be a crappy person. Just don't be a crappy person. And if you guys have any questions or want to see any proof, please message me, because I have absolutely no issues showing the proof of anything. Not a damn thing. Because being petty isn't against the law. Was it a little bit bitchy? Yeah, absolutely. I was frustrated, but being petty isn't against the law. So, all right, I'm going to try to figure out how to do this. Pressing all these damn buttons. Bye-bye. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Do something kind for somebody. Yeah. I'll see you next time. Oh, and I think Scotty's live. Oh, it says, I've received 24 gifts. Don't forget to say thanks. Thank you, everybody who sent the 24 gifts. Like I said, I wasn't even paying attention, and I'm so sorry. Ooh, you guys sent me some corn. I like the corn. It's corn. Good night. Good night, guys. Good night. I love you all. The replay will be on my YouTube if you'd like to see it. Everybody, I'm Hot Pink Girl. I'm struggling. I'm struggling. But feel free to go watch it. Go rewatch it. I don't hide anything. I'm an open book. And I did ask for money once. Good Lord. I asked for money once in 2021 because I was struggling. A whole one time. And my friend sent me the money. Good grief. Before I even knew about the awareness. People. Little turds. I'm going to sit here and keep shit talking till all y'all leave. I'm just kidding. I'm going to get off here because it's 9:49. My children have been in bed for anybody's screen recording. They have been asleep because they have school tomorrow. press the X, girl. I know, I need to. I need to, because I'm just going to sit here and shit talk till y'all leave. I'm just going to shit talk till y'all leave. I'm just kidding. I feel bad because it's like, are you sure you want to leave? Because 66 people are still watching. Well, no, they're my friends. They're my friends. Okay, for real, I'm leaving because I'm getting delirious. Bye, love you.